WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio. U.S. Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects and mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, a series of terrorist attacks on American soil needlessly claimed the lives of 3,000 men, women, and children, and injured approximately 25,000 more.
The cockpit is not answering their phone. Our number 1 has been staffed, and our 5 has been staffed.
I am going to call from Washington. I am in a situation where Americans learned a possible hijack.
What's going on, Betty? The craft is erratic again. Oh, you're ready. Betty, talk to me. Betty, are you there? Betty? Betty? A plane just What?
It's 737. It what?
Like the World Trade Center. Who are you talking to?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
United 175, New York. We have some problems over here right now. We might have a hijack over here, 2 of them.
Jules, this is Ryan. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well, it's not looking good. I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. Go have a good time. Thanks to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you. And I will see you later. Bye, babe.
What are those people going to do? All the other leaders have walked out.
Oh my God. So both towers are now.
Okay, I got an aircraft 6 miles east of the White House.
Hello?
Crystal City, just north of Crystal City.
Just to the north of your town.
Yeah, stop all departures.
Pentagon just got hit. Don't put me in that. God damn, I can't protect my NCA.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact, we're looking, United 93.
United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the sound of identity.
I got that piece of dog. Keep it remaining to be. You have the ball, boys.
Tuesday, 9:47 a.m.
Maybe you have to listen to me carefully. I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. I'm on the plane. I'm calling from the plane. I want to tell you I love you. Please tell my children that I love them very much. And I'm so sorry, babe. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby. I love you. Bye.
We're 56865. We have, I believe it is a Boeing 757. Can you see him up there, sir?
That's confirmed. It looks like he's rocking his wings.
Roger.
He's rocking back and forth.
We're 56865. I advise you stay away from that aircraft. Go north as fast as you can.
United 93, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land?
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yeah,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Sean, it's me. I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm stuck in this building in New York. There's lots of smoke, and I just wanted you to know that I love you always.
At number 2 World Trade Center, right. Lady was stupid in the walking. We're not ready to die. We're getting bad.
I'm on the 83rd floor. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No. Say I'm gonna die.
Liv, say your prayers. We're going to think positive because you got to help each other get off the floor.
I'm gonna die.
The new type of war. That's what it is.
Welcome, everybody. This is Friday Night Freedom here on this 9/11/2020. Wow, that was tough to watch. If you were on the radio page, you saw the entire video that preceded our good friend Dave Bray, his very awesome video. I'm joined here by Pooky, man. I need somebody to bounce this off of, man. That was
that was rough, man.
I'm trying to put this show together, and of course I've got to play that video over and over and over and over again. And dude, it was just I'm not numb to it at all. It's hard to watch 19 years after the fact, it's hard to watch. It's just incredible what we went through 19 years ago. Do you remember where you were, what you were doing? Were you drinking?
Like it was like crystal clear almost, like
right?
Still to this day.
There's points in our life where events are just they're just seared into our brains. You know, you're never going to forget them. You're never ever going to forget them. I was at work. I had just gotten back from a trip. I was out of the military. I had been out. Let me see. Oh my gosh. You see, I had one daughter born in '98 and another one born in 2000. So the youngest one was probably too young. The oldest one was wondering why Dad was sitting in the garage listening to the radio. So this is after I got back at work, back into the house. I had to decompress in the garage because all day we were sitting at work, and it's like, hey man, radio guy said a plane just flew into one of the Twin Towers. I'm like, oh, it's just probably a stupid Cessna. Pilot got disoriented. No big deal. It might have been foggy, and I think everybody was like that. Unless you were there on the ground, unless you were seeing it first person. But then it's just, these emergency alerts come about, and it's just, no, that wasn't just a little Cessna. That was a freaking passenger plane flew into one of the Twin Towers, and then there was a bunch of bantering back and forth, and people were getting on the phone, and then the other plane hit. And then everybody that I was working with were like, oh shit. I had just gotten off a plane. I came back Monday morning from a trip to MCAS New River, and wow. I was back to work at the place that I work at, and this is what happened. And that entire day, I don't think any work got done. It's like the Gulf War. When the Gulf War kicked off, I was in South Korea. I was in 501st Aviation. And that kicked off, and then we were going through a room inspection. And Sergeant Major says, "Turn on. Do you have AFN?" I said, "Yes, Sergeant Major." He says, "Turn on your television." And it was Saddam Hussein and his troops invading Kuwait. And I'm like, "Oh, shit's going down." And I don't remember anything after that inspection. I have no idea. I don't know anything. All I know is for the next, who knows how long, we brought a television into the break room where I worked, and it was on 24/7, and we were just stuck to the television. And the same thing happened with 9/11. Everybody was glued to a television set. The entire nation was glued to a television set.
Yeah, I'm going to date myself. I was in high school at the time, so young buck here. But I saw the second plane hit. At first, I thought, "What's going on? This is crazy." And when my brain couldn't process it at first.
I don't think anybody's could. No rational person can go, "Oh, that makes sense." It's just everybody is just like, what the hell's going on? This doesn't happen here.
Yeah, it was a crazy day, and I was living in a little rural area in Texas, mm-hmm. and my buddy came in between classes or whatever it is and snatched me up because his dad wanted him to go home. He was working on a farm, and the gas prices were getting gouged in Texas real bad, and we were trying to get gas for the farm because he thought World War III was kicking off, and he was like worried about his farm and stuff like that. So I was helping him get all the supplies and stuff. I was like, "Dude, this is freaking crazy. What's going on?" And he's like, "I have no idea, but we're going to war or something's going on." It was just insane. I mean,
it was. What really goes through your mind? I wasn't thinking we were going to war. I'm thinking this is somebody fucked up. And then after the second plane hit, and after you start hearing some talk on the television and on the radio, you're like, "Damn, this was a freaking terrorist attack." And then you get mad once you get over the disbelief. Then there's that slap in your face of reality, and you're like, "Those sons of bitches." And then we've been dealing with those sons of bitches for the last 19 years.
The Infinity War.
The Infinity War, or it's just I don't know, hatred, a bunch of just it's hate. It's hate. That's like the only way that I can describe it is hate. And it's not hate towards a person; it's hate towards an ideology. For the most part, I mean, for some, I mean, you get people it's just that just freaking hate everybody. So it's just this ideology that doesn't make sense. It makes sense to them. I understand that, but what the hell? I don't get it. I still don't get it. I don't know. I think, and this is me talking personally, I think that we've taken our eyes off the ball as far as what's going on in. I mean, President Trump just announced that he wants to take away 2,500 troops. I'm not sure exactly what the population is as far as U.S. troops in. I'm not talking about advisors, like troops in Iraq. But I mean, to take away 2,500 of them. I was over there in 2010, and then towards 2010, President Obama didn't sign the Status of Forces Agreement, so we just had that big. Okay, everybody get out. I was a civilian contractor at the time. So here I am not evacuating, like, get on the plane. I had to make arrangements to get my crews out of the theater. So we went from Kuwait to Baghdad to Kuwait City, or from Kirkuk to Baghdad to Kuwait City. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last. It may last for the rest of our lives. I mean, look at Germany. Germany actually holds a strategic place. I believe maybe if we have some kind of presence in Iraq or Afghanistan, that would give us a little foothold in the Middle East and in Northern Africa. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a strategist. I'm just.
I was about to say the same thing.
I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran sitting here that I have access to the internet, and you read things. I really don't. I don't like to watch television or listen to radio because I don't like to be told what to think or how to think. I'd rather read the facts and then I'll make up my mind. If I have questions, then I'll look up those questions or I'll ask somebody who may know. But man, I don't know. I don't know who has the answers. Are we pigeonholed in a region, and we're just there, and this is a normal thing? What do you think, man?
Well, I mean, throughout history, Afghanistan's been a destroyer of empires. So, I mean, I think at some point, eventually we're just gonna have to say enough's enough. But we have some substantial threats in that area, like Iran and,
Iran's a big one.
Iran, China. China's a big one. That's a kind of a strategic foothold for China. It's. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a strategist, like you said, but like at some point you got to realize that they're sending kids over there right now that were born after the towers fell. That's how long this has been going on, and it's sad to say it.
We just turned 19 years old as far as this Infinity War is going. It's still going. And yeah, I mean, we have. I mean, there's family members that have been fighting together over there, like fathers and sons, or even husbands and wives, wives and daughters or sons. I mean, there's a little bit of everything going on there. Our young soldiers right now, I mean, 19 years ago, 9/11 happened, so now they're the ones that have been going to college are going over there as officers. I don't know. Does anybody have an answer? I really, I'm ready for an answer.
I really don't.
I'm ready for everybody to come home. I mean, I really long for the days where there were no real, this is a global conflict. Obviously, it's a global conflict. I mean, we're all involved. I mean, globally, you've got the, I want to say normal people. You got the obviously more tolerant folks, which is us, and then you've got the hard line. And this is, I mean, everyone says, you know, this is a religious war. You know, we're not fighting on behalf of the Bible, but it doesn't mean
maybe
that
on their side.
It doesn't mean that they're not. It doesn't mean that they're not. And this fire was lit probably a long time ago. I mean, a very long time ago. But it was up to us to put it out. I think that we could have put it out very quickly. But then there's that war of public opinion, and would the American people at large be accepting our badass military forces going and just bowling over everything? You know, war used to be about taking, you know, you take some land, you take over the land, and it becomes yours. You take over more land, and that becomes yours. The people either they die or they assimilate into whatever you got going on. And it's not like that over there, man. This is like a hearts and minds type thing, and you can't. It seems to me that's not entirely possible. You have opportunistic fighters over there that are going to back whoever pays them the most money or who gives them the most stuff. Whoever gives them whatever they hold most valuable is who they're going to back. And if someone comes over with a better offer who happens to be on the other side of the argument, they don't care. They're gonna back those folks. It just seems like we can't find a real ally, a trustworthy ally. We do have allies, but it's just, you know, in that region, it's just really hard to find a dedicated population. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking out loud because I don't know anything, but I've got opinions.
The same boat.
Maybe my opinions are wrong, and I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. Koz and Pooky, think out loud for a couple hours.
I'm going to be doing the same thing now.
So I had a video snafu. That's why I took my video off. It was misbehaving.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let me see if it's fixed itself. It hasn't fixed itself.
1990s squiggle vision late at night, huh?
Right? I'm pixelated. I'm super ultra pixelated. I don't know if I can fix that on the fly here.
It looks like those. Remember the shopping malls that used to have them paintings that you'd like look at and cross your eyes? That's what it kind of looks like.
That's exactly what it is. Okay, put 50 cents into your CD-ROM, and then stare at that picture. All right, I'm going to get that off of there. You know how they say at Microsoft? Have you tried to unplug it and then plug it back in?
Let's see who's in the chats here.
Bob Bulow, percussive maintenance. Hell yeah.
Percussive maintenance.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Doc Derek.
Hey, Doc Derek's here. We got so many chats going on. I see that Spanky has showed up to say hello. Got a lot of folks here. Outstanding. Thank you for joining us, man. Absolutely right, Tina. She says we were generally united as a nation. I think this nation, the United States of America, was like the most united I've ever seen it. The days on September 12th, we were the most united nation of all nations.
I was about to say, September 12th was probably, I hate to say it, but 9/11 created something. I don't know what happened to it over the last 19 years, but that day, September 12th, it was insane just to see how united everyone became Americans for a change, and we weren't fighting each other. You know, it was just
horrible and it was cool at the same time. It really, really was. Neighbor helping neighbor. There was nothing. I didn't hear any reports of murders and muggings and whatnot, and it's just I don't know, man. I don't know. Where can we get? Why can't we get back there when everybody was united toward a purpose? And everybody kind of just poured out all the support for helping, in New York City and at the Pentagon and in Shanksville. I mean, there were 4 separate attacks. And there was just such an outpouring of support. There were the fire departments sending people from freaking the other side of the nation into New York to help the recovery. What can we do to get back there now? Right now, it's almost the exact opposite.
Obviously, everyone's at each other's throats
for no good reason.
You can say this stick is crooked, and the other guy would be like, "No, it's straight," and start a fist fight in the streets. It's just how we are nowadays. I don't know. It's depressing if you think about it. I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing. But there is a lot of sensationalism going on with certain broadcasting. That's about as far as I'll go with it.
So what you're saying? So what you're not saying? And that's what my ex-wife used to say to me. Okay, I'm trying to fix this on the fly here. So please pardon the pixelation. I am here. I am all in one piece.
He's in predator vision mode or whatever.
Yes, this is what I see. I need to reverse my glasses. That one. How about I do that? Configure video. That's probably not a good button to push while you're broadcasting.
What was it? Another one that happened September 11th was Benghazi, and I'm surprised no one's even talked about that.
I was gonna ask about that because that was like an anniversary. It wasn't even an anniversary. I've got so many that Arab Spring thing going on. Oh, I've got different pixelation now. I don't know what's happening. What do I do with my hands? Yeah, I think that was that Arab Spring that was happening, and then that fellow in Oregon released a video.
The YouTube video.
The YouTube video that they used as an excuse for the attack on the embassy in Benghazi.
Which was, I don't want to get into that. That irritates the living hell out of me, but no.
Still. There's been no answers. There's been nobody to answer for that. It's just Americans have a short memory.
Well, you can blame that on the whole 24-hour news cycle is constantly refreshing itself, and it's just like you either become numb to it or you get programmed to it. That's the you see how people act, based off what they watch, pretty much.
What I don't like, and I think this is primarily what the issue is, in my opinion. I am not a sociologist. I am not a psychologist. I am not a military specialist. I am not a political scientist. But too many people rely on the one or two news stations that they watch, and that whatever they spit is what is taken as gold. Or they watch everything that they hear on The View. That's the only thing that they watch is The View. And that's the only, or Stephen Colbert, or they get their information from one source.
Or they just read headlines of articles on Facebook.
Oh my gosh!
I hate that with a passion.
You know what?
Did you read the article?
I've been guilty of that. Just kind of been in a hurry. You kind of peruse the headlines, and you're like, boom, 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 boom. Okay, this looks interesting. So you draw an opinion on the first 4 things that you just skimmed over, and then you read that 5th article. You didn't read the first 4 articles on something completely different. But then someone brings it up in a conversation, and then all of a sudden you've got an opinion on it. And you're wrong. And I've done that before. And then someone would say, just like you said, hey, did you read the article? And then I answer, I'm not going to lie about it. No, I didn't. I'll get back with you. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, holy shit, was I wrong? There's a lot of that going on. And on a large scale. And people aren't, I think right now people just want to be pissed off. I'm not saying everybody here. I think that all of us, as far as veterans go and active duty folks, we're pretty level-headed. We kind of, we let most shit roll off our shoulder But before we react, we kind of gather some facts. We're not very reactionary. We do like to kind of get all the facts first. Or I'd like to, from what I've seen.
I mean, we're so used to the knee-jerk reaction of the military and the government that we're like, no, you got to sit back and we got to analyze this first, because everything's knee-jerk now, and it's like, oh my god, oh my god.
I mean, so much. I mean, you got Breonna Taylor, you got George Floyd, and this is what happened. And I saw a cartoon. It was an illustration. I say cartoon. Cartoons are supposed to be haha, whatever. It was an illustration. It was a stack of dominoes. One started off at like an inch, and the other one was 6 inches high, and the other one was 18 inches high, and the other one was like 5 inches high or 50 inches high, and it was George Floyd pushing over the first domino, and then it's like everything just kind of boom, and the end domino, it says the end of the world. This George Floyd thing kicked off, and there was it was May 25th. I remember that because it was just that entire day was it happened kind of later in the afternoon, but then that evening it's like the world was on fire, almost like there was like a predetermined protest people that were just already in place before any of the real facts. The video that came out was absolutely horrendous. It made me sick to my stomach. But then after the facts were released and more videos came out, and then the toxicology was done, and he had a fatal dose he had a fatal amount of fentanyl in his system. And people jump to conclusions much, much too quickly. And I get being pissed off. What I don't get is the extreme reactions that we're seeing to things that would probably work themselves out. But there's been such a narrative of police are bad, police are overhanded, police are forceful. They're there to maintain.
I mean, they kind of have to be in today's environment. That's another thing too that I've been trying to explain to people is, have you seen the way people act and nowadays, and just like in public, it's insane. I mean, there's no civility anymore.
Or there's this expectation of you can't touch me because I'm a minority, name the race. I've seen, fortunately, I'm extremely fortunate. I haven't seen any of that personally. I work with a lot of people. We're different races, creeds, color, ages, you name it. We've seen none of that between, within our workforce, within my crew, within my lab, within the people that I work with, within the series of labs, and we're all friends. We haven't seen any of this stuff. I haven't, of course. I don't go looking for trouble. I don't go driving in downtown Dallas. I pretty much stay to myself. It was like day 3 or day 4. I actually drove. It was over Memorial Day weekend. I drove through downtown Fort Worth, kind of looking for like maybe where they were having protests. There was, as far as I know, there was like one protest, an attempted protest in Fort Worth. Protesters started walking across the bridge. Police went on this side and on that side of the bridge, arrested all the protesters, and then there was no more. It was over with. We were really well behaved in Fort Worth. Dallas, not so much. That's more of an urban vibe there. How you doing, Aaron?
I heard Austin was pretty bad.
Austin is mini California, man. It's always been like that. It's always been the liberal side of things.
The last time I was there, it didn't seem that bad. It must have gotten worse since the last. I mean, it's been 10 years since I've been to Austin. So
University of Texas is there. There's a lot. There's just a big. It's kind of a cool vibe, but they're a very left-leaning vibe, and it's gotten more left-leaning. Not at the risk of Texas turning blue, but it's just there's a lot of folks there that are relocating from California, and they're bringing their politics with them. And they're relocating to places like Austin, Houston, and Dallas. And that is what's going to turn Texas blue eventually. I'm sad to say that. It's really sad to say.
I don't understand that philosophy. I'm moving from California because I hate the way it is here, but I'm going to bring all my crap and make the place I'm moving to into California.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. Like, I'm moving to get a change of things, you know? You know, people do that sometimes. They uplift and they move to get a change of scenery, to slow down and pick up new jobs, you know? You expect change at that.
Or an immigrant coming to the United States from an oppressive Islamic country, trying to escape Sharia, and then trying to implement Sharia, or trying to bring that shit back. It's like oh my gosh, it's like Six Sigma. No, we can do it. Six Sigma has failed time and time again, but it's like no, we're gonna do it differently. Or it's like communism. No, or it's socialism. We haven't done it the right way. This time we're going to do it the right way.
Let's just keep trying until it works, but it'll never work. What do they say? The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yep. Now I guess I got to play devil's advocate, like the way that the country is progressing under the leadership of Donald Trump. I like what he does. He's kind of a man on the mission. Man's been in office nearly